All right, Adam Barker. Well, let's just go through the lineup now and show you where he starts. Avery Walker and Maximilian Gunther on the front row. Nick Sorensen, Adam Barker on the second row. Scott Nalawi and Mike Dolling have the third row. Yuho and Janet Gunther have the fourth row. Ronnie Wimberly and Julian Rickard round out the top 10. Mike Marshall in 11th with Dylan Steinbach in 12th. 13th is Ed Schiller, and Giancarlo is listed but is not racing. He did try and get in and get some practice in to see if he could run it, but unfortunately unable to make the event. Take a moment while you're waiting for everybody to hit the grid. Please hit the share button, like, follow, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out htsai.net for all of the social media links as well. And hey, check this out. The track temperature is currently 96 degrees. That was a concern for a lot of drivers out here during practice. And thank you, McMullet, but okay, go get him, McCready. Go change the diaper. McMullet not in the field this morning due to baby duty. All right, everybody is rolling. Just a couple of corners, and then they'll go green flag racing. Maximilian and Avery going to lead them down. This one will get interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very interesting. A very tight track. Pace car is in. They are down and away. Green flag in the air. Avery Walker gets a good jump in the Audi. Did hear all the drivers saying that the Audi and the Lambo are going to be king here today. We'll see if that holds true. A lot of guys saying that the Porsches would be dominant, but the Porsche drivers did say 1% too much brake, 1% too much throttle at this track. You're going around. They have got to be extra careful today. Everybody single file, and nobody has had an issue as yet. Ed Schiller bringing up the back of the field. He might be in the safest place on this track at the moment. Single file for the majority of the field right now. A lot of guys saying very difficult to pass. Things are going to get tricky when they start getting side by side again. Avery Walker in the Audi up front. The highest running Lambo currently Scott Nalawi. Maximilian Gunther, though, as they come by in the Porsche. In the field today, 3 Porsches, 1 Mercedes, 2 Audis, 4 Ferraris, 2 Lambos, and 2 BMWs. A couple of close calls with the wall there. And here's the big shocker: is who's in the Mercedes tonight. It is Yuho. Yuho back in the Mercedes like last week, pulling out an old friend, possibly due to the lack of practice as it was last week for him. Time will tell how that Mercedes does. It does have the power advantage, but that car does not like to turn. That long nose just doesn't have a ton of grip. Could make things a bit tricky for Yuho. Avery Walker still out front. Maximilian Gunther in second. Adam Barker in third. Sorensen currently fourth. Mike Dolling in fifth. 2.3 miles of very tight track here. 14 turns that are extremely difficult, tricky. This whole track, every bit of it is tricky. Even the straightaways at points are tricky just because of how bumpy this track really is. As I mentioned during pre-race, one of the drivers has a full motion sim rig with a butt kicker and said that this track is just extremely bumpy. You feel everything, and it is a bit, all the drivers said, it is a bit exhausting, especially if you're sitting in a full motion rig though. Julian Rickard up 2 spots to 8th now. Dylan Steinbach up 2 spots to 10th. They are the 2 biggest movers so far, both in Ferraris. Julian Rickard staying in the tire tracks of Yuho. Yuho, the previous 2 seasons, has been extremely fast. He has been in contention and won one championship. Battled it out with Giancarlo last season. Giancarlo pulled off the championship with Yuho finishing 2nd. However, this has not been Yuho's season. The change to the Lambo, and occasionally, as we're seeing today, into the Mercedes, has him back in 9th in points. Seven weeks of racing have been completed. The first 3 races were 1 hour. Then they went to the double header, which everybody seems to love a lot. And the doubleheader format has definitely amped up the aggression, amped up what everybody is doing out on track, and made things extremely exciting. They don't have to do any strategy. They don't have to do tire, fuel, any kind of changes. They are just sending it for half an hour, a short break, and then another half-hour run. Avery Walker still out front. Maximilian Gunther in 2nd. Max just ran his fastest lap. Actually, he just ran the fastest lap of the race, but only 3/100ths of a second faster than Avery. And like we said, the Audi and the Lamborghini, even the Porsche drivers were saying they're going to be the ones to beat here tonight. However, I think Maximilian is going to come up here and try and pull off a win here tonight. Also, we got Janet Gunther back in the field today. Haven't seen both of the Gunthers on track together in a couple of weeks now. So great to have the family back together again. Ed Schiller, who we mentioned early on in the race, was actually leaving a little bit of a gap. Has picked up a couple of spots after starting at the back. He is up to 11th. Looks like Janet Gunther has gone to pit road. Let's take a quick look to confirm that. Yes, he did indeed come to... Oh! The back end on that Porsche is really kicking out, and it does look like he has a little bit of damage. I am guessing he has gotten the wall. Is Maximilian setting up? It looked like he was setting up for a pass here. Is he planning it out? This track definitely difficult to pass on. Would be interesting to see how this goes. Maximilian Gunther in 2nd. Adam Barker now in 3rd with Nick Sorensen in 4th. Sorensen in a Porsche today. That comes as a bit of a shock. Sorensen has been in in a Ferrari all season long. And with a lot of the Porsche drivers saying 1% too much gas or brake, and that car will just snap out on you. Especially once those tires get to warming up. Things could be a little bit interesting. A bit surprised to see him not in the more stable Ferrari. A few drivers did mention the McLaren being really good here this morning, but not a single McLaren in the field. Mike Dolling up to 5th. Scott Nalawi in 6th. Yuho 7th. Julian Rickard is 8th. Ronnie Wimberly in 9th. Ronnie's had a couple of rough races, so glad to see him back up in the top 10 here. Especially considering the level of skill Ronnie has, and when you consider he is driving with his mouth. If you haven't seen it, go check out Quad Racing on Twitch. Dude is just impressive. Yeah, he's even got his logo and everything on the Ferrari today. I'm willing to bet he is live right now. Avery Walker has been unable to pull away from Maximilian Gunther. Adam Barker gets really close to the wall there. Nick Sorensen hanging on in 4th. Mike Dolling in 5th. Has Scott Nalawi right behind him in the Lambo. Scott started in 5th, has dropped back 1 spot. And actually, Scott has a little bit of a blink on. Actually, there is only 1 Lambo in the field since Giancarlo didn't start. Scott Nalawi is going to lead the charge for the Lambos. Maximilian Gunther in 2nd has stayed right in the tire tracks of Avery Walker. Now remember, at the end of this race, the top 7 will invert for the second 30-minute race. 10 minutes in, not a lot of passing. Guys not really pushing it to the limit right now, trying to keep the car in one piece. I find it so interesting to see Sorensen in the Porsche today that when he gets back to the start-finish line, or as he comes down that last straightaway, let's hop in the car and take a lap with him. We'll probably do some in-cars from, we'll try and get one from every make in both races just to see how these cars differ around this track. Coming through that final kink down the straightaway toward the start-finish line. There's the pit road entrance to the right. And across the start-finish line to start the next lap. Down into the first turn. And for me personally, this is the hardest part of the track because there's that big bump as you go through that left-hander. Up to speed, down the long straightaway. Making sure you cut that perfectly, but don't cut in too much and get the time penalty. Down through the next right-hander, up to speed. Guys will spend a lot of the lap as they go uphill and another little bit of a bump as you go through the apex of that corner. Guys spend a lot of time in 2nd and 3rd gear at this track because of the tight corners around here. Only a couple spots you get into 4th and 5th. Down through one of the tightest sections of track here. And you see just how much that Porsche is bouncing around. All the way down to 1st through there as he works back up to speed. Then back down, there's pit road entrance again, coming through and across the line. Nick Sorensen ran that lap. That was actually his fastest lap of the race with a 1:29.27. Yes, they do, Marty. I'm trying to remember how many they have per race. I believe it's 2. 1 or 2. David, I think you are right about that. A lot of these guys, you see them broke off in ones and twos, but no distinct advantages here. Nobody able to really pull away and get a big gap. There's the biggest group. Mike Doling, Scott Nalawi, Julian Rickard, and Yuo all there. That is 5th through 8th. I was surprised to see Yuo not in the Lambo today, considering that is one of the better cars for this track. But wow, we know that Mercedes has the most power. And man, it shows when they are getting up off the turn. I did notice in practice, though, that Mercedes, definitely one of the bounciest cars out here. Probably due to that long nose. And looks like Yuho already has a bit of damage. Yeah, he's got that damage, and it definitely helps you see just how much the front end of this car bounces, especially over certain parts of this track. But it doesn't look like the Lamborghini of Scott Nalawi. Let's ride with Scott. Just seems a hair more planted and a hair less affected by the bumps. And Scott's got a run now. And Scott Nalawi back to 5th. Mike Doling not putting up much of a fight here. You do not want to try these corners too wide very often. It won't end well. Avery Walker still out front and starting to open up a bit of a gap on Maximilian Gunther. About 3/4, now 8/10 of a second. And it looks like Ronnie Wimberly has come to pit road, as has Ed Schiller. Let's take a quick look at Ronnie's car as he comes to pit road. See if we can see. Does look like that car has heavy damage on the left side. He'll have to come in for repairs. I'm willing to bet Ed Schiller had the same type of situation. Ronnie, he hit the wall hard as he came up on pit road. That couldn't have happened at a better spot. Just past the halfway point, and Avery Walker has started pulling away from Maximilian Gunther. Adam Barker in 3rd, now 3.3 seconds back with Nick Sorensen on his bumper. He's actually starting to put a gap on Sorensen now, almost a full second. It looks like definitely starting to see some of these guys come alive in the second half of the first race, as Scott Nalawi cleared Mike Doling a lap or two ago and is now trying to run down Nick Sorensen. The gap is 7 seconds, but the way Nalawi is going right now, could very well see him up there battling for position before too much longer. Mike Doling, Julian Rickard, and Yuho all still together there. Yuho has not been to pit road to repair his damage, obviously not having a massive effect on the car. Julian Rickard is the highest running Ferrari. Let's hop in his car and see how his car is taking the bumps. Looks like it's better than the Porsche, not as good as the Lambo. And he's going to make a move. Same place. This is where we have seen most of these passes happen. As Julian Rickard has started in 10th and has made his way up into 6th. Rickard has definitely been on a tear here lately. Currently 5th in points with 1 win. Could he get his 2nd win of the season here today? He is definitely navigating traffic quite well. And while Nalawi had started to pull away from this group, Rickard has already started running him down very, very quickly. Interesting note about Yuho running this car. We heard him in a pre-race interview at the start of the season when he went to the Lambo after driving the Porsche all last season. He made a comment that he had to start learning how to drive the Lamborghini like a Lamborghini because he was trying to throw it around the same way that he did the Porsche. It took him a couple of races to reach the point where he was driving it the way he wanted to be driving it. But he gets in the Mercedes. He says it's like an old friend or an old member of the family and has no problems and drives it very smoothly. Could we see Yuho in that car the rest of the season? Ronnie Wimberly's been involved in an incident. Oh, coming off that first left-hand turn, just gets loose coming over that big bump and ends up in the wall. There's the in-car, you see, cuts the... Oh, he got a little bit of the inside wall there. And he towed to pit road. Race number 1 might be over for him. David, I will have to ask a couple of drivers between races. I would think we've seen it a couple of tracks this season where guys said they were faster with a full fuel load. And with the track being this bumpy, a situation like what we just saw with Ronnie Wimberly could possibly be saved by a higher fuel load. It does add the weight, but if the weight adds a lot of stability at a track like this, that might be beneficial. Hey, you know what? We have an answer. Or at least somebody who can answer. Hey, Giancarlo, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug.
Hey, so we had a question come up from the chat. With the way this track is, as bumpy as it is and as tricky as it is, would having a full fuel load here be beneficial?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. I feel like it definitely adds a bit of a bit of consistency, and it helps keep the car in check because, you know, light cars are faster overall, but take a lot of finesse to keep under control, especially as you said with all the bumps. So I don't know. There might be a few guys in here that added a little extra fuel than they needed just to make sure that, you know, they got around the track safely and make it to the end.
I know a lot of drivers said that they were going to be worn out at the end of both races today. Are you hearing any of the drivers complaining about being tired already 20 minutes into this?
Not just yet. I think Avery said he was sweating a bit, and it was a mix of just physical exhaustion and also mental exhaustion of having Max right behind him. But I'm sure that people are going to be tired after these at this track.
All right, man. Well, tell everybody we say good luck. I'm sure we'll be bugging you again, but thanks for the insight, buddy.
Sounds good. Thanks, Doug.
Yep, there you heard it from Giancarlo, the points leader. A little extra fuel could be beneficial. Ronnie is back out on track. However, he has lost a ton of time. However, he's currently being scored in 12th place with Ed Schiller in 13th. He is 1 lap behind 11th place Dylan Steinbach. And actually, Dylan is 1 lap behind Janik and the rest of the field. Avery Walker has 7 minutes left. He's got a 1.1 second lead over Maximilian Gunther. Adam Barker in 3rd, Nick Sorensen in 4th. Scott Nalawi currently running in 5th. Julian Rickard is 6th, Mike Dolling in 7th, Yuho 8th, Mike Marshall in 9th, and Janet Gunther in 10th. All those drivers currently on the lead lap. Dylan Steinbach, Ronnie, and Ed Schiller all a lap or more down, 11th, 12th, and 13th. And obviously, Giancarlo not in the field this morning. Although I did hear him say, regardless of what is causing his problems, here in a couple of weeks, he's ordered all the computer parts. His computer, about 6 years old, I believe is what he said. So in a couple of weeks, he will have his new system in and will be back out there. Some tracks just a little bit more taxing on the system than others. David, you made an excellent point too about the fuel load. I am actually trying to remember what race a couple 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I'll have to look back later at my notes, but there was one race where all the drivers said they were taking an extra gallon or two of fuel because the car got so difficult once the tires got hot that the extra fuel load really helped. Maximilian Gunther, currently in 2nd, has started cranking it back up and closing the gap back down on the leader. Adam Barker in 3rd. The gap now 4.3 seconds to those two, but he has managed to open up a 1.3 second gap on Sorensen in 4th. Scott Nalawi in 5th. Julian Rickard has caught back up to him, and they have pulled a gap on Mike Dolling and Yuho. Yuho in the Mercedes for the 2nd week in a row. Really surprised to see a single Mercedes in the field here today. Mike Marshall currently running in 9th and Janet Gunther in 10th. And remember, after this race, we will have a short break. They'll have a warm-up. We'll talk to the top 3 drivers, and then we will go into race number 2. But the top 7 finishing order here will invert. So if Avery Walker wins, he will start the 2nd race in 7th place. David, you're absolutely right. The Porsche, just because of the way that the Porsche is designed, it would get a bit tricky, especially as the tires get hot and as the fuel load comes out. And as we mentioned earlier, a lot of the drivers saying, hey, once that Porsche, once it gets late in the run, even 1% off on braking and throttle, it can get a little bit sketchy, or you can completely lose it. Maximilian Gunther in 2nd. Adam Barker is 3rd. Nick Sorensen 4th. Nalawi in 5th. Julian Rickard, who started in 10th and now up into 6th. He's been the biggest mover so far at a track that is notorious for being difficult to pass. 2.5 minutes left. Can he pick up fifth? I do believe they'll get, Avery Walker will get the white flag this time. We'll have to wait and see as he gets closer to the start-finish line. It's going to be close. And I do not believe now that just due to the timing, I don't think Avery will get the white flag. He'll get it next time by. No white flag for Avery Walker. He'll go around and get the white flag next time by. I have to agree, David. This has been a lot of fun. Adam Barker in third. Nick Sorensen in fourth now. Julian Rickard is making the pass. He does it and moves into fifth. That will have him reach starting race number 2 in third place as of right now. That can make things interesting. He has definitely been the most consistent and made the most passes out here today. As it looked like Scott Nalawi was really struggling coming through there. Mike Dolling all over the bumper. Nalawi just moves over. Could be wrong, but it looks like Nalawi has some damage to the right side of that car. It must just be the... Yeah, it is just the paint that makes it look like it. He does not have any damage, but he is obviously struggling here late in the run. The white flag was shown for Avery Walker. Maximilian Gunther in second. Adam Barker third. Fourth place is Nick Sorensen. Julian Rickard in fifth. He is 15 seconds back. He is not going to pick up any more spots. Nalawi is on pit road from 6th place. That moves Mike Dolling up to 6th. Mike Marshall to 7th. Yuho up to 8th. 9th is Janet Gunther. 10th is Dylan Steinbach now. As Avery Walker leads them around, he is going for win number 2 this season. Mark, you're definitely right about that. All the drivers did say in pre-race they don't like this track. I shouldn't say all. There's one or two that absolutely love it, but most of them were like, I don't like this track. I personally do not like this track either. And here comes Avery Walker across the line. He gets his 2nd win of the season at Belle Isle. Maximilian Gunther is going to come across in 2nd, and Adam Barker finishes 3rd. Another great run for Adam Barker. Sorensen finishes 4th. Julian Rickard is 5th. Mike Dolling is 6th, and Mike Marshall is 7th. Mike Marshall will start the 2nd race on the pole. And let's see if we can talk to a couple of the drivers like Adam Barker. Hey Adam, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, I got you, man. How are we doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. What a run here tonight. You managed to keep the car out of the wall and keep it clean to come home with a 3rd place finish.
Yeah, really happy with that one. It's going to be interesting for the next race now with the inverted field. Avery and Max were just like in another level, so them starting 7th and 6th is going to be interesting to see what happens.
There are definitely a few guys that managed to come through the field. You only passed one car throughout the whole race, and Julian Rickard managed to come through a bunch. Was there any difficulty trying to get past, or was there a lot of give and take out there today?
I mean, I was nowhere near Max from the start, so I never really had a really had a chance of overtaking. But Nick was really close to me. But I knew if I got out of the first complex and the last corner, then he couldn't overtake me in the straight. There's just not enough room.
That is definitely true. Well, congratulations, man. Another great finish, finishing third.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's see if we can get a hold of Avery and talk to our winner. Hey, Avery, it's Doug. You got me?
Yep, I gotcha.
First off, how you feeling?
Pretty tired. That race felt like an eternity. So race number two is going to be interesting.
That definitely is. You managed to hold the lead pretty much from the start, from the drop of the green and get away. But Did you feel like you were going to lose it to Max at any point?
Definitely right at the beginning, like the first maybe 10 laps, he was right on me. And that definitely kept me honest. I was trying very hard to stay in front of him. And by the time we got to like the middle of the race, he seemed to have dropped back. And at that point, I was just focusing on not hitting the wall.
That did seem to be the saving grace, not hitting the wall. A lot of drivers did get a little bit of it, but it didn't look like I never saw you even clip it tonight.
Yeah, I didn't get a single 0x.
That is a plus, especially at this track. Go catch your breath. That's your second win of the season. Go catch your breath and get ready to do it all over again.
Yeah, we'll see. Thanks.
All right, let's see if we can get a word with second place, Maximilian Gunther. Hey, Maximilian, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, hi Doug.
Hey, buddy. I have to ask. I heard a lot of guys in pre-race saying the Porsche is really fast because it's nimble, but even a little bit too much or too much gas or brake, and that thing would go around. I never even saw you bobble the whole race. You just had that thing planted perfectly.
Yeah, but it's still if as soon as you hit the wall like slightly, you knock your wheels off. It's it's really hard and hard on the concentration to drive that thing. That
Well,
beast.
yeah, I can imagine. Avery did say he was worn out and he was not in a Porsche, so I can only imagine what you're feeling right now. You got to be exhausted, knowing you got to go do it all again and come through a lot more cars this time.
Yeah. Yeah, the overtaking will be really hard, I guess.
Well, do you have a strategy for it? Because obviously you have one of the fastest cars out there, but you're going to have a fight on your hands this time. Do you have a plan, or are you just going to hope that you can get sneak through on a few corners?
I hope a little bit of sneak through, but I'm just gonna send it.
That is the way to do it, by God. Well, congratulations on the second place finish, man, and good luck sending it.
Thank you.
Hope you send it all the way to the front.
Thank you, Doug. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. Maximilian Gunther, just gonna send it. By God, that's the way to do it right there. And it looks like Max might actually be one of the few drivers that goes out for the warm-up. He is sitting on pit road. Just about a minute left in the warm-up. Just enough time for you guys to run to the snack bar, get your food, get your drink, and while you're standing in line, please hit that share button. right, warm-up comes to a close. Hopefully you had time to go get something to eat and drink. As they begin to line back up for race number 2, this one could get interesting. Mike Marshall and Mike Doling have the front row. Julian Rickard and, Nick Sorensen have the second row. Adam Barker, Maximilian Gunther on the third row. Avery Walker and Uo on the fourth row. Scott Nalawi and Janet Gunther have round out the top 10. Then Dylan Steinbach in 11th, Ed Schiller in 12th. 13th is going to be Ronnie Wimberly and Giancarlo, obviously not racing today. Just about everybody, they all get stacked back up for race number 2. I'm guessing a few of these drivers probably wanted to get this one over with after that first race. We saw an Audi win race number 1, but 2 BMWs on the front row. Could we see those BMWs come to life? And it is so tricky to pass here. As we heard, these guys might be able to hold everybody off, but Julian Rickard, who passed 5 drivers in race number 1, sitting in third. He's going to be the one to watch early on here. Pace car is in. Out of the final turn, green flag is in the air. Everybody is down and away. Mike Marshall to the lead. Julian sends it into turn 1. Julian takes the lead very quickly, or takes second place very quickly, and going to challenge for the lead. Mike Doling in third. Now look, Adam Barker starting to look for an attack here. And a lot of side-by-side, a lot more. Oh, Ronnie has had an issue. We'll take a look in a minute. A lot more side-by-side. It looks like everybody's starting to settle down just a little bit. But the first half of this first lap, they were really, everybody was sending it. All right, Scott Nalawi has crashed. Ronnie has crashed. Let's take a look at what happened to Ronnie. Nalawi was in that big pack. That could have some problems. And it looked like Ronnie just got loose. Let's take another look where a tree's not in the way. And there you see, we saw it in the first race. A couple of drivers hit that bump through that first left-hand turn, and it sends the car around. All right, let's see what happened to Nalawi, especially considering he was in that pack, had a lot of cars right behind him. Oh, just gets loose off the turn, fortunately spins out of the way. Doesn't affect anybody else, but does affect himself badly. Mike Marshall has gone to pit road. And Julian Rickard has taken the lead. Let's see how that happened, as it looks like Adam Barker's on the attack now. Julian takes the outside line. And what in the world? Mike Marshall went to pit road. Adam Barker, every time we've looked at him in this second race, he has been on the attack. He's now up into third, but Julian Rickard, now that he has taken the lead, has already opened up over a second lead. Mike Doling in second. Adam Barker is third. Avery Walker in fourth. And Nick Sorensen in fifth. Mike Marshall is back out on track. I did not see any damage when Julian came by and made the pass for the lead, but that is the only thing I can figure is he had to go to pit road for a repair. So Rickard has the lead, but Mike Doling has cranked it up in the Beamer. He is in second. We mentioned there was a 1.1 second lead just a moment ago. That lead is starting to shrink just a little bit. Mike Doling seems to have a few plays. Look at Adam Barker, though. Mike Doling's going to have to crank it up. Adam Barker is on the attack, and we mentioned it. All the drivers said the Audi and the Lamborghini would be the cars with the advantage today. Adam Barker is taking advantage of being in the Audi. Can't complete the pass before the corner, and now it looks like Maximilian Gunther is coming forward as well. Yuho was riding every bit of the rail. Rickard's lead now 1.6. Mike Dolling gained on him for about a lap, but then lost it. Dolling having to defend and having a little bit of difficulty attacking while having to hold off a hard charging Adam Barker. Adam finishing third in the first race, running third in the second race. I think everybody is going to be struggling to pass, but Adam definitely is going to get him. I do believe Adam has had the run more than one time. He just needs the opportunity. Avery Walker, who won race number 1, is now up into 4th. So the two Audis are nose to tail. Let's get a view of Adam Barker's back bumper from Avery Walker's car as they come through the fastest part of the track. Adam starting to set up, but he has not been able to make a pass to the outside. We've only seen a couple of guys make a pass to the outside anywhere on this track, and it definitely has not been at that corner. As they come back up to speed, this has been where Adam Barker has been able to go deeper into the corner than a lot of drivers around him. It looks like he's backed off and being a little bit more patient here. Avery Walker not exactly being more patient. He is trying to get up there and get something done. Maximilian Gunther, back in 6th, said he was just going to send it this whole race, trying to get back up to the front, currently in 6th. Julian Rickard has started to make a decent lead for himself. Now 2.25 seconds over Mike Dolling, Adam Barker, and Avery. Whoa! Avery was all over Adam's back bumper. Avery's definitely got a fast car here today. But again, this track just so difficult to pass at. The one car that made the most passes in the first race, he's leading. Quickly got to the lead and is pulled away. Ronnie Wimberly still on pit road. Mike Marshall, after giving up the lead and going to pit road, is back out on track. It does look like it was for a repair. He was only in his pit stall for 2 seconds. Dylan Steinbach just had an incident. Oh, looks like Dylan had already had some damage to the left front. That car was not tracking correctly coming down the straightaway, as you saw, and just lost it coming through that turn. Mike Dolling in front of Adam Barker. Avery Walker starting to lose just a little bit of ground. And look, Adam Barker's going to go for it again. Doling almost loses the back end there. Adam Barker putting pressure on Doling. And, Doling almost loses it again. Mike Doling is sending it, trying to keep that car in front of Adam Barker. Wow. How long can Doling hold up that pace? And the real concern at this point would be, if he loses it, how many cars behind him get stacked up into that mess? Avery Walker back in fourth. Nick Sorensen in fifth. Avery's starting to look for a move. Sorensen's starting to look for a move. Everybody's swinging out looking for something here. Adam Barker just chomping at the bit to get around Doling here. Rickard has to be loving the battle going on behind him. He's got a 4-second lead now. He actually has not let up a bit either. He continues to pull away. His last lap was less than half a second off of his fastest lap. Barker still looking for a move here. Avery Walker still looking for a move. And Nick Sorensen waiting for a mistake. He's actually put a little gap in there just to give himself a little more reaction time. Barker shoots to the inside. Can't stick it. Oh, a little bump. And he backs off, trying to be a good sportsman. Everybody's going to try and take advantage. Can Adam Barker hold him off here? And he does. He maintains third place, but wow. You got to give it to every member. We have seen it every season, all season long. These guys definitely some of the best sportsmanship you'll see on track. Incidents like what happened with Adam Barker just a second ago. He knew he just barely tapped Mike Doling, but didn't want to take advantage, did not want to win that way. Backs out and gives him a little space, even put his position at risk to do the right thing. But I don't know that Mike Doling can hold Adam Barker off much longer. We have seen Mike Doling losing the back end, trying to keep that car in front of Barker. And I am sure Mike Doling knows once Adam Barker gets a line, he's going to have several other cars try and sneak through. He's got to do everything he can to hold him off. And here is where Adam has been the faster of the two. He gets a run to the outside, does not have the momentum yet. But the line he took looked like he carried a bit more speed. Being in Avery Walker's car has got to be one of the most exciting views out there, even from Nick Sorensen's view. Tell you what, let's take a look from Avery's car. Looking ahead at the battle between Adam Barker and Mike Doling from the in-car camera of Avery Walker. And as they come past the start-finish line, that is where Adam Barker has been the fastest the whole race. Just has been able to repeatedly set up the pass, just can't get it completed. always getting stuck on the outside of the corner. If Adam Barker ever gets to the inside, I think Mike Dolling's had it. Down toward the start-finish line. There's Barney the flag man standing up there. Oh, a bit of a bump. Can Adam get the run this time? Obviously, Dolling knows where he needs to put that car to block him. Oh, Adam swings to the inside. Can he drive it in deeper this time? What a view! Adam Barker to the inside for second. He's going to clear him. Can Dolling do anything? He can't. And now here comes Avery Walker. Tries to make the move. Can't get there yet. You know, Adam Barker tried to make the move to the outside multiple times, and then you saw Mike Dolling try and block to the outside. I think Adam Barker just rope-a-doped Mike Dolling. All right, Julian Rickard out front has a 6.7 second lead as we hit the halfway point, but we have a new second place car as Adam Barker has made his way to second. Can he close down that big of a gap? Mike Dolling now back to third. Avery Walker all over the back bumper in fourth. Nick Sorensen in fifth. And look at this. Yuho in the Mercedes has managed to make his way up to sixth after starting race 2 in 8th. Yuho really didn't advance any during race 1. Janet Gunther back in 7th. Scott Nolwe in 8th. Ed Schiller 9th this time. Ed Schiller had a very rough race last time. Has managed to take advantage here though and pick up some positions. And Maximilian Gunther back into 10th after finishing second in race 1. Yeah, I've actually been waiting for an opportunity to say rope it open a race broadcast, so I was so proud of Adam for pulling that move off. And even better, Adam Barker has now closed the gap by over a second. The lead now 6.5 seconds. Can Adam Barker in the next 13.5 minutes close the gap down? He's actually pulling away from Dolling. He has about a 1 second lead over Mike Dolling. Avery Walker in fourth has not been able to get any further up yet. Sorensen in fifth. Sorensen has been leaving that gap. Avery looks to the outside. Now he does, crosses back over, can't make it work. Sorensen has been obviously and intentionally leaving a gap. He puts himself where he needs to be, and if an opportunity presents itself, he can get it. But he has been playing it safe, especially with that battle that's been going on ahead of him. Maximilian Gunther has gone to pit road. Mike Marshall has also come to pit road. Yuho now up into fifth. Avery Walker has gone back a bunch of spots here. It looks like Nick Sorensen might have gotten the run on Avery. Oh, Avery just overcorrected, trying to make something happen on Dolling. And everybody behind, like we were talking about, Sorensen took advantage, and while the gap was there, Yuho dove in. A lot more aggression in race number 2 as some of these drivers try and get back toward the front. Yuho now up into 5th. Julian Rickard's lead now under 6 seconds. It continues to shrink. Does Adam Barker have enough time? Mike Dolling back in third. Now has Nick Sorensen and Yuo coming from behind. Avery Walker in 6th. Janet Gunther in 7th. Scott Nalawi in 8th. Ed Schiller in 9th. And Maximilian Gunther back out on track in 10th. Mike Marshall and Ronnie Wimberly both off track, might be done for the day. Julian has managed to maintain that gap right around 6 seconds, but through certain parts of the track, Adam Barker really starting to close it. There you see the time difference. Adam Barker right around 6 seconds. And there you see the lap times in comparison between Julian Rickard and Adam Barker. Adam Barker 1/10 faster than had a bad lap on lap 10. Started making it up, only lost 2/1000ths of a second on lap 13 though. With 9.5 minutes left to go, there is a lot of ground for Adam Barker to make up here. Can he do it? That gap hovering at 6 seconds. And it does look like Julian Rickard just came by the Dylan Steinbach, the lap car. I don't believe that the leader will have to get into any more. No, he will not have to deal with any more lap traffic, but Adam Barker will still have to get by the lap car. Shouldn't have any issues in doing so, but if he can time hitting that lap car just right, might be able to use the slipstream to pick up a little bit of a gap. Mike Dolling, now 3 seconds behind, has also pulled a gap on Nick Sorensen in 4th. Almost 2 seconds now as they sprint. Yuho has crashed. Not something we say very... Oh, Yuho catches, trying to hit the apex, catches the wall and sends him into the outside. It is not often that we say those words, but Yuho crashes here at Belle Isle. What a heartbreak. Yuho was starting to work his way forward. Julian Rickard's lead now down to just over 5 seconds. Barker in second, definitely charging forward. Had he gotten through sooner, I think it would be guaranteed he'd catch Rickard. Yuho is on pit road for repairs. Mike Dolling now up to 3rd. Nick Sorensen up to 4th, and Avery Walker back up into 5th. Although that has to be a bit of a frustrating situation. He was running further up earlier in the race. Janet Gunther up in 6th. And look at the back. Oh, he's got some left front damage on that car. But look at how twitchy the back end of that Porsche is through here. And we saw Mike Dolling struggle with the back end of the BMW as he was fighting off Adam Barker. But the back end of that Porsche really not as much. You don't see as much slide. It just twitches. Scott Nalawi was in contention in the first race, but after the incident earlier in the second race has only made his way back up into 7th. Maximilian Gunther started in 6th, had dropped as far back as 11th, has now made his way back up into 8th. Ed Schiller's coming to pit road. And looks like Ed had some damage that we just... looked like he clipped the wall a few too many times on the right side. Dylan Steinbach, after massive damage early on, is back out there in 10th. Julian Rickard just lapped Dylan Steinbach. 9 cars left on the lead lap. Ferrari in the lead, followed by Audi, BMW, Porsche, Audi. The lone Lamborghini is in 7th. After last week not having a single Porsche in the field, it's great to see 3 Porsches back out here. And a bit of a surprise given the conversation during pre-race that these Porsches are doing so well. But given the guys driving these Porsches, it maybe isn't such a big surprise. Although they did say, as we mentioned, during officials this week, the cars to beat were the Audi and the Lamborghini and occasionally the McLaren, but nobody taking the McLaren out today. Mike Dolling about to have his hands full yet again. And this late in the race, I don't think these guys are going to be playing. And patiently, Sorensen really tried to dive it in there. Avery Walker looking for anything he can get here. Sorensen just all over the back bumper, just needs one advantage. Wow, Sorensen was really close to the wall there. The Porsche is more nimble through the tighter sections of track, but so twitchy. This being the closest battle on track right now. This is for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Mike Dolling, Nick Sorensen, and Avery Walker. Janet Gunther in 6th, all by himself. Same with Nalawi in 7th. And Maximilian Gunther in 8th. Ed Schiller in 9th. Dylan Steinbach in 10th. Back up front, Adam Barker has closed the gap down to about 5 seconds. Mike Dolling has crashed. Nick Sorensen all over the back bumper of Doling, and it looks like they might have got together, but the tree gets in the way. Let's try another look as the white flag comes out for Julian Rickard. And yes, they did briefly tap in the middle of the corner. Julian Rickard in the lead. 5.3 seconds now. Adam Barker in second. Avery Walker slips by that incident a lap ago and comes home gets up to third. Fourth is Mike Doling now, and Nick Sorensen drops back into fifth. And I do believe, again, I believe that Nick Sorensen let Mike Doling back by after that incident. I agree, David. Yeah, Kellen, you should be out here racing with these guys. Coming through the final turn, Julian Rickard will get his second win of the season at Belle Isle. Adam Barker coming home in second. Avery Walker coming down will finish third. Mike Doling finishes fourth. Nick Sorensen fifth. Janik Gunther, Scott Nolly, Maximilian Gunther, Ed Schiller, and Dylan Steinbach round out the top 10. Very good sportsmanship shown here today. I agree, David. All right, let's see if we can talk to Avery again. Avery, this is Doug. You got me?
Yep, I gotcha.
How you feeling now?
I feel okay. It's a good result, but honestly, I'm a little disappointed because I did get held up for a while, which is fine. It's all part of racing. But I do feel like I could have gotten second, maybe even gotten up to Julian.
I have to ask, man, it was a little bit wild back and forth for you. As you were advancing, you get a little wide, and a couple of drivers slip by. You managed to sneak back by and pull off the third with just a couple of laps to go, though. How close was that?
Yeah, that was super lucky. I was trying to get past Mike, I think, and then got completely mugged by Yuho and Nick. So I was hoping to get back by them, and luckily I think Yuho took himself out, and then Nick and Mike came together. So honestly, sheer luck to get back up to the podium.
Well, regardless of luck or skill, man, you've had a great day here today, and looks like you'll pick up at least a little bit of points before after this one.
Yep.
Congratulations, man! Another podium finish.
All right, thanks, Doug.
I'm betting a few of these guys are tired. Let's see if we can talk to Adam. Hey, Adam, it's Doug. You got me?
I got you. How we doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, but I have to ask the obvious question. How many more laps did you need?
Oh, I knew I would have needed quite a few. I think he was just chilling at the front there. He had a pretty comfortable gap at the front. I don't think I could have caught him. And then catching him is one thing. Getting in front of him is a whole nother thing.
Especially at this track, as we saw all day.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, it's so quick. And there's not really big braking points. And trying to get past Mike early was interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, it definitely was. You guys had a couple of close calls, but ended up you managed to get by. And gotta say, the sportsmanship when you guys got together, you backed off, almost lost the position yourself, but backed off to let him get the car squared away. That was awesome.
Yeah, like it was my fault, so I couldn't. I didn't want to overtake like that.
Well, man, another great race, another great finish, and with Giancarlo not here, you should close that gap quite a bit today.
Yeah, and Simon as well is not here, and he was third in the championship, so...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
seconds looking a little bit more cemented than it was last week.
Well, great job today. You definitely earned it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, let's see if we can get our winner. Hey, Julian, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, buddy. Congratulations, man. Once you got to the lead, you were gone.
Yeah, I got lucky. They got in some kind of a train, but yeah, it was easy once I was in the lead. Well, easy, not really easy, but I didn't know they got stuck and couldn't catch up. So I think they were being nice because it was my birthday yesterday. So.
Ah, gotcha. I have to
I
ask.
think that's the explanation. Yeah.
I got you. Adam Barker was running you down that last 4 or 5 laps, but he said he thought you were just taking it easy up there.
Not really. I was really trying to keep. I wasn't really fast today, so I was really pushing as much as I could while keeping the car on the track, because once you touch the wall, you're done. So yeah, it wasn't easy. No, not at all.
Well, man, regardless, you made it look easy, and what a great win here today. Congratulations, and happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you, Doug.
All right, Julian Rickard wins here at Belle Isle. What a race that was. Don't forget to come back tonight. BRR Cup Series continues the playoffs, and then we will be doing the makeup broadcast for the Nowski Nation Retro Trucks at Dover. Look forward to seeing you tonight. Have a wonderful day.